What is going on, guys? It is Sawyer here, back again with another video. And today, if you guys are wondering why I'm kind of talking in a quiet tone like this, it is because it is currently midnight at the time of me recording this. And you know, WrestleMania is tomorrow at the time of recording this. So I thought I would just do my WrestleMania 42 predictions. You know what I'm saying? We got an absolutely stacked card for WrestleMania, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you all my predictions really quick. So let's get into it. Alright guys, the first match on the card for Saturday WrestleMania is going to be the Usos and LA Knight versus I Show Speed and the Vision. So 6-man tag team match. I Show Speed's getting involved. It's pretty funny, you know, they're having a lot of celebrities, you know, they can kind of overdo it sometimes, but overall I think this is going to be a pretty fun match. And I feel like the Usos and LA Knight really need this win. A loss for the Vision and I Show Speed wouldn't hurt them, honestly. And there's gonna be some crazy spot like going through a table, like for I Show Speed, he'll probably go through a table or something like that. Some crazy spot, but overall, I think the Usos and LA Knight are taking the dub in this one. All right, and the next match, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. And this one can honestly go either way. I'm not gonna lie. I could see either outcome. I could see Jacob winning, and I could see Drew winning. Let me think about this one for a little bit. I did hear that Drew might be taking time off after WrestleMania. I don't know if that's true though. But honestly, I think I'm going to go with Jacob Fatu, because if Drew loses this time, he's got to like full on quit SmackDown and move on over to Raw. Hopefully he'll get more opportunities there. And then if once Jacob Fatu wins this, I feel like, you know, he'll get another like mid-card title, you know, US title opportunity, or just get boosted, you know, into a bigger storyline. But anyway, it's going to be a good match overall, but I think Jacob Fatu is taking the W. And next, ladies and gentlemen, we got, the Women's World Championship match between Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. This feud has gotten really personal. The whole thing with Liv and Roxanne bumping heads, my god, the sound that made, bro, jeez, that was insane. I'm pretty sure Liv still has like a bruise right there anyway. I constantly see this going either way, but overall, I think Stephanie Vaquer retains. I don't know why, I just have a feeling, but I could see it going either way. Maybe like the Judgment Day will get involved. I feel like they will get involved, and maybe like Raquel kind of has like her Batista moment, if that makes sense, like a, you know what I'm saying. And maybe she'll turn on the Judgment Day, get moved over to SmackDown, get a new fresh start there, and you know, Stephanie retains via that. But you know, we'll see. But overall, I think Stephanie Vaquer is retaining the Women's World Championship. Alrighty guys, and the next match is going to be AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And this match, a lot of these matches could go either way. Honestly, I think this match could go either way as well. A lot of people are leaning towards AJ Lee retaining, just because, you know, she just won the title. And, yeah. But I honestly think Becky has a pretty good chance of winning. I don't know why. I've been leaning towards that way since Elimination Chamber. I'm like, oh, it's cool, you know. AJ Lee got to win the title in her hometown. But then I feel like Becky's going to win it because she's going to be like, she's like on TV more. She's been on TV more than AJ Lee, if that makes sense. And AJ Lee could, you know, maybe take more time off after WrestleMania. You know, she's been taking a lot of time off. But, yeah, I'm gonna stick with Becky Lynch here, and then maybe they can continue the feud, or AJ Lee gets dumped like into another feud. But yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be a good match nonetheless. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and the next match I'm going to be talking about is Seth freaking Rollins versus Gunther. And this match has the potential to steal the show. Both of these men are, you know, amazing athletes, amazing professional wrestlers, you know. Braun Breaker, I'm pretty sure he recently just got medically cleared at the time of recording this, but you know, it's too late now. Seth obviously needed something, he got cleared. So, and Gunther, you know, they didn't want to leave Gunther off the show. The guy who retired Goldberg, AJ Styles, and John Cena, bro. Like, yeah, you gotta have that guy on the show. But anyway, I think, wait a minute. I was gonna say Seth Rollins. but I'm changing my answer. I think Gunther is going to win this match, and I'll tell you guys why. Seth Rollins is going to be about to hit the stomp on Gunther, right? And then Braun Breaker is going to show up and cost Seth, and Gunther's going to get the win. And we're finally going to get the payoff, the Vision story payoff between Seth and Braun Breaker. You know, Seth is going to continue to go after the Vision after WrestleMania, I think. And maybe after that, it could lead to like a Seth Roman feud or something like that. But anyway, I think Braun Breaker is going to come out during this match, since he's medically cleared now, I'm pretty sure. Cost Seth the match, Gunther's going to win. And, you know, we'll get a payoff for the whole Vision storyline, hopefully. But yeah, I think Gunther's going to win that match. Alrighty, guys, now we got the 8-woman Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Charlotte and Alexa versus Bayley and Lyra versus Nia Jackson, Lash Legend. And it was going to be versus the Bella Twins, but since Nikki Bella's injured, it seems like they're going to get replaced by like the Kabuki Warriors or something like that. Anyway, this should be a pretty fun match. I honestly think Lyra and Bayley are going to win. They've been long overdue, you know. They're pretty fun as a team. But anyway, I think they're winning. It's going to be a pretty fun match, though. Alrighty, guys, that is going to be it. Oh, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I forgot about one match. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event of Saturday WrestleMania, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, with Pat McAfee in Randy Orton's corner, thanks TKO, for the Undisputed Championship, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. This is an interesting one. The whole Pat McAfee situation, I haven't really talked about it on the channel recently, but you know, as everyone else, I think it's completely stupid, bro. Like, if TKO is gonna butt in on these storylines, if they wanna like get involved with these, then at least make it good, bro. Like, nobody cares about Pat right now. Nobody cares about Pat McAfee, bro. Like, it's just stupid. It was a little funny at first, but it's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense, bro. Like, come on. So anyway, I guess Pat McAfee is gonna be in Randy Orton's corner. Let me think about this. I think, hang on, what if, hear me out, Pat McAfee isn't the one who Randy Orton was on the phone with. Pat McAfee was just a fill-in or something. So say during the match, Pat McAfee appears on the ramp, right? And he says, oh, I wasn't the one on the phone with Randy Orton. And then like The Rock comes out or something like that, or somebody like Kevin Owens, you know, since Kevin Owens was, you know, involved with, you know, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton right before he got injured. So I can honestly see something about that. And then maybe like The Rock or Kevin Owens, whoever maybe comes out and costs Cody the match and gives Randy the title, and sets up a feud between them and Cody Rhodes. But yeah, again, the Pat McAfee involvement is dumb. You know, we just needed Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes to tell the story. Like, I mean, I hope it's gonna be good. I hope we get a good payout out of this, not like a Travis Scott situation last year. Like, I don't know if you guys even saw it in the video I did last year. The WrestleMania, it was John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, the WrestleMania main event reactions for that match when Travis Scott came out. Like, at the end of the match when John Cena won, like, I tried to be like energetic and all that. I tried to be like, you know, but you know, it was just deep down, bro, I just felt so underwhelmed by that main event. And you know, because like it was a big moment, you know, John Cena winning the 17th world title. I tried to get my energy up there, but like I was just so underwhelmed by the match with you know, The Rock not coming out, just Travis Scott coming out there and just screwing over Cody Rhodes, helping John Cena win the title. It was pretty dumb, honestly. I hope that something like this doesn't happen this year with Pat McAfee. You know, maybe Cody Rhodes hits a crossroads on Pat McAfee's about to beat Randy Orton, and then like The Rock or Kevin Owens comes out. But yeah, those are kind of my ideas for that. I think that'd be pretty cool. But anyway, my final prediction, I think Randy Orton wins number 15 tomorrow night at WrestleMania at the time of recording this. I think he's long overdue. Maybe like Kevin Owens or The Rock comes out and they cost Cody Rhodes. That's kind of the only way I see Cody losing, if I'm being honest. But yeah, overall, I think Randy Orton wins number 15. Alrighty, guys, now we're moving on to WrestleMania Sunday, and the match that is kicking off WrestleMania Sunday, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. This is a huge match. The build for this, in my opinion, has been spectacular. I've loved this build. You know, the thing that really set this off was Oba Femi just power bombing Brock. The whole you know what moment, you know, it really just set that off. Like, oh my goodness, like this dude is crazy. Like this dude's crazy strong, you know. And you know, Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar, two very big hitters, obviously. I feel like this could be like an under 10-minute match, you know, if that makes sense. You know, like a Brock Lesnar Goldberg situation at WrestleMania 33. Like that match was pretty good, honestly, you know, and you know, they got their spots and it was like it was under like, I want to say it was under like 10-15 minutes. I don't know, it's been a while since I've watched that match. But anyway, I think that Oba Femi is going to win this. I don't know, I just have a feeling, you know, I feel like an Oba Femi loss would kind of hurt him here. I feel like Brock losing wouldn't exactly hurt him that much. I don't know, I just have a feeling about that. And yeah, there's been a lot of rumors that like Brock's gonna retire this year, like at SummerSlam maybe. I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's been a rumor that like Gunther's gonna retire him at SummerSlam because it's in Minnesota. But yeah, we'll see. I think Oba Femi wins. He's got so much popularity right now. You know you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Oba's just got too much popularity behind him, man. I really just don't see Oba Femi losing tomorrow night or Sunday against Brock Lesnar. Sorry. It's gonna be a hard hitting match. It's gonna be good. You know, Brock's gonna take Oba to Suplex City, and then you know Oba Femi's just gonna powerbomb Brock right into the ring. 1, 2, 3. Oba Femi is taking the dub. All right, guys. And now we got this. Was it? I don't know why I was tripping on that for a second. Anyway, we had the 6-man ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. My computer just shut off. Wake up, please. There we go. Okay. Oh my god. I did not need to do that. Okay. Anyway, a 6-man ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. We got Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans versus Penta versus Rey Mysterio versus Rusev versus JD McDonough, all for the Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match. This match is going to be a car wreck. There's going to be a lot of crazy spots. Rey Mysterio is going to pop off as usual. You know what I'm saying? And Penta, you know, Penta's had quite a solid reign, honestly. Since he like kind of just started the reign, I don't know if I see him losing, honestly. But if Penta is going to lose, then there's only one person who I see taking that title, and that is the young OG, Javon Evans. I think either Javon Evans wins the title or Penta retains the title. It's going to be a car wreck of a match, but you know, Javon Evans, that boy is bouncy, and I got a feeling he's going to win the Intercontinental Championship on Sunday if Penta doesn't retain. But you know, it's going to be a great match nonetheless. Alrighty guys, now the next match I'm going to be talking about is Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill for the women's, just the women's championship. Okay, and this match should be good. You know, Rhea and Jade. You know, this has been a dream match. Like I feel like ever since Jade, you know, debuted in WWE. You know, Jade has been talking a lot online about Rhea. And you know, the whole like beef between them, like I feel like that's gotta be a work, right? You know, like Chelsea Green and like some of those other women backstage chiming in, you know, that's gotta be a work, right? I feel like they're just trying to get more eyes on that match. I feel like it's gonna be a good match nonetheless. But you know, Jade Cargill has not done anything with this title, bro. Like she has not defended it whatsoever, and I think that changes because I think Rhea Ripley is going to win the Women's World Championship, and you know what it is with Rhea Ripley with the title, bro. You know, she always delivers. It's gonna be a good match, but Rhea Ripley's going over, and like a lot of this like, you know, like beef stuff, you know, between like Rhea and Jade, like the whole Twitter thing or whatever. I feel like, you know, that kind of stuff is gonna be like on Unreal, you know, the new Unreal season coming out this summer. You know, like the same thing with, you know, the Pat McAfee stuff. I feel like that's like all, you know, stuff for Unreal. Guaranteed, bro. I feel like we're gonna see that stuff on Unreal. Anyway, this should be a good match. Obviously, you know, the card overall is really stacked. We have a lot of good matches. I think Rhea Ripley is going to take the Women's Championship from Jade. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the next match, is going to be Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams for the United States Championship. In this match, it's kind of a tough one for me. I love both these guys, you know. You guys know me. I'm a big Sami Zayn fan, you know, honorary Uso, the Uso stuff, you know what I'm saying? I want that back, please, WWE. But anyway, you know, Trick Williams, of course, is really good too, you know, want that Trick. Honestly, bro, like, I'm fine with Sami being on the card, you know, I wanted Sami to be on the card to begin with, but they did not have to take the title off of Carmelo. I mean, you know, it's fine that they did it, but the fact that they did not add him to the match and make it a triple threat match, I really thought that they were going to add Carmelo Hayes to this match and make it a triple threat match between him, Sami, and Trick Williams. Like, why would they not do that? That's a great idea, bro. I should vote for WWE. But anyway, you know, Sami Zayn's been getting booed a lot on SmackDown, and Trick Williams obviously has a lot of popularity behind him right now. So he's been getting cheered. You know, he's had Lil Yachty come out with him. I heard a kind of a funny thing that maybe we could get like a double turn. You know, because Trick Williams is obviously, you know, pretty much a baby face at this point. You know, the fans love him. Everybody loves him. He's cool. I heard that, you know, Sami could turn heel. You know, I feel like you gotta turn Sami heel. You know, with all the booze he's getting. You know, I heard something kind of funny that, you know, Lil Yachty could turn on Trick Williams and maybe side with Sami Zayn, and Sami could fully turn heel. If that were to be the case, then I feel like that would mean Sami would retain the United States Championship, and, you know, Trick would lose, obviously. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think, you know, it's gonna be a good match. Obviously, you know, as you know, these guys are professionals. They're really good. Sami Zayn's a veteran. I think Trick Williams is winning the U.S. title, and then maybe after that, you know, he could have a feud with Carmelo Hayes. I think that'd be awesome. You know, reignite the whole NXT stuff, and then maybe after that, I don't know. Like, I feel like, you know, you gotta move Sami like back over to Raw. You know, get involved with the Bloodline. You know, that might be my personal bias, but you know. Yeah, I just love Sami Zayn with the Bloodline. But anyway, yeah, Trick Williams is probably gonna, I got Trick Williams winning the U.S. title from Sami Zayn. And the next match, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be probably, you know, the match I might be most excited for. That is going to be Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Now, you know, the thing is with Finn Balor bringing back the demon persona, you know, it's obviously really cool, but like, why spoil it, dude? Like, you know, it's fine teasing us a little bit, and then, you know, like tease it week after week in Finn Balor's promos, but then once we actually get to WrestleMania, that's when you finally reveal like he's the demon Finn Balor. But it is what it is. Hope I'm not talking too loud. Alright. Anyway, yeah, like why reveal it so soon? Like, you could have revealed it at the show itself. But anyway, this match is gonna be good. You know, Finn Balor turning on the Judgment Day, that was a really good segment. It was a really good storyline. You know, I love both of these guys. I could see the Judgment Day getting involved and maybe and helping Dominic win, or, you know, the Judgment Day also getting involved in, you know, accidentally costing Dominic, and, you know, causing some friction between there, you know, because this Judgment Day storyline's been going on for like years now. You know, like Edge created it basically with Rhea and Damian. But that's gonna go either way. Finn Balor definitely needs this win more. You know, Finn Balor, man, I've said it before. I think my dad's walking around right now. He doesn't know I'm filming a video. I had to get this video out, bro. You know, WrestleMania's tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, Finn Balor needs this win more than Dominic Mysterio. You know, don't get me wrong, I love these guys. I love Finn, I love Dominic, but, you know, Finn Balor just needs this win more. Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a great match, but Finn Balor overall needs to win. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the main event of WrestleMania, the Tribal Chief, the OTC, Roman Reigns versus the best in the world, CM Punk, for the World Heavyweight Championship. And ladies and gentlemen, this build has been something else. You know, we've had better builds, honestly, but this build it's overall been really good. You know, CM Punk really set it off when he said he's gonna bury Roman next to his father. That was pretty crazy. You know, they've just been taking a shot at each other week after week, you know, getting into brawls. The Usos have been getting involved a little bit. And that's something I also want to touch on as well, you know. Roman Reigns also said in an interview, I'm pretty sure today or yesterday at the time of recording this. Well, it's midnight right now, so never mind. I'm not gonna get into all that. That's confusing. But anyway, Roman Reigns said recently that if he loses to CM Punk, then he doesn't belong in WWE, and then his work here is done. That's what he basically said. If he loses to CM Punk, then Roman's done, honestly. So that might, I'm not trying to jinx it, alright? You know, because I obviously want Roman to win, you know. I love the OTC, man. I love Roman, but, you know, so basically, Roman basically said that if he loses, then his work here is done. So that means I guess that means he leaves WWE if he loses to CM Punk. But anyway, the last time he said this, I remember before SummerSlam 2021, he was feuding with John Cena, and Roman said, he said, I either walk out of that stadium the Universal Champion or I'm leaving WWE. And Roman Reigns ended up beating John Cena at SummerSlam 2021 in Las Vegas too. It's pretty fitting, you know, same venue and all that. But the Usos could also get involved. You know, the Usos have been getting involved a lot. You know, Jay especially, you know, with the kind of heelish side of Jay coming out. And Jimmy's trying to like calm down, like, yo, Us, you know, when you get emotional, brother, you don't think, you know. And you know, they just want to defend the family. They want to represent the family. That's what the bloodline is, you know what I'm saying? We the ones, bro. And yeah, the Usos, I can honestly see the Usos getting involved and accidentally costing Roman, and you know, causing some friction between there, you know what I'm saying? I really predicted Roman winning this. Like when this first got made official, I'm like, oh, Roman's winning for sure. But now, like as we've seen the build progress, like it could honestly go either way, you know. The Rock is heavily rumored. I think that might just be people, you know, spreading rumors. Honestly, I kind of don't think The Rock's gonna be there. I want The Rock to be there. You know, it's WrestleMania, bro. Like it's the biggest pay-per-view of the year. Like, please, Dwayne. But you know, honestly, don't really think The Rock's gonna be there. I hope I'm wrong though. I really want The Rock to be there. But yeah, The Rock could get involved, cost Roman, and you know, maybe like The Rock could come out and, you know, get in CM Punk's face, and you know, that leads us to think, oh yeah, he's gonna beat up CM Punk, he's gonna help Roman win the title, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's gonna beat up CM Punk for talking smack about the family, and then he turns around, hits a rock bottom on Roman Reigns, and then the crowd goes crazy, and then CM Punk retains the title, and then that sets up Roman Reigns versus The Rock for WrestleMania 43. I can see that, or you know, just a straight up wrestling match and CM Punk, just a straight up match like with no interferences, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. But you know, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be this is an interesting WrestleMania for sure. You know, this really needs to be good. It really needs to top last year, since last year's WrestleMania was not very well received. You know, I feel like I don't want to say this WrestleMania needs The Rock, but you know, I'd really love for him to show up, obviously. But my prediction, I am going to go with the OTC Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns walks out with the World Heavyweight Championship. Let me think about this really quick. Yeah, I think Roman retains. Yeah, I overall think Roman retains. Maybe with the help of the Usos, maybe the Usos like turn heel, the bloodline, you know, overall turns heel, and they help Roman win. The bloodline's back. You know, I'd love to see that, obviously, but you know, yeah, we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think Roman Reigns wins, but if Roman Reigns doesn't win, I could also see this. So Roman said if he loses to Punk, like he's like kind of done. He's pretty much done with WWE if he loses to Punk. That's what he recently said. You know, something along the lines of that, basically. But you know, so what if, you know, The Rock comes out, he costs Roman Reigns, sets up a feud, so Roman loses and he like goes on a hiatus, then he comes back, he's like, I know I said if I lost to CM Punk, then I would leave WWE, but you know, but my cousin Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he came out and he cost me or something like that, you know. And I had CM Punk beat, you know, he could say that, but then my selfish cousin Dwayne had to come out and ruin that moment for me or something like that. You know, that could set up the whole feud between Roman and The Rock, which we all want/need. But anyway, yeah, my final prediction is Roman Reigns. And ladies and gentlemen, those were my official predictions for WrestleMania 42. Comment down below some of your predictions too for WrestleMania. Some storyline ideas. You know, what you guys think is gonna happen. And John Cena's also hosting the show, so that could be pretty cool. Maybe John Cena comes out in the Seth Rollins versus Gunther match, costs Gunther, and Seth Rollins wins, and then maybe Braun Breaker comes out. Maybe it'll be a whole ordeal, but you know, it is what it is. Though, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, those are my official WrestleMania 42 predictions. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'm probably going to make a video. I'm probably going to make a reaction video for WrestleMania 42. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Smack my desk, bro. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. And ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys in the next video. It's WrestleMania.